This is my third-party review of the Fusion Juicer. I felt I missed a few things on the infomercial. Primarily, and I noticed as well, I was watching the infomercial before I bought it, they didn't mention how to clean the thing. So we'll definitely cover that. So here's the Fusion Juicer. I've had it for a month. Bought it just in time for the trees in my backyard to become ripe. I've got a pear tree and an apple tree. They not the most edible things, and they're bug infested, but they'll work well with a juicer. So I found that most of these apples don't fit down the hole very well, so I cut them in half. Another thing they didn't mention is cutting the seeds out of an apple. They didn't even mention the fact that apple seeds have cyanide in them, or something that your body turns into cyanide. So I like to get the majority of the seeds out. I don't know if it can actually rip them open, but I don't really want to go there. It's fired up. I just cleaned this thing recently, so it's perfectly clean inside. I've got a clear cup here so you can kind of see what's coming out of the thing. We'll go over that shortly. It takes a surprising amount of force to push down this handle. Okay, it's down. Good. Toss in a couple more apples. Really hard to push down on this thing at times. There we go. Sometimes you gotta stand on the machine to get the arm to go down. Hear that rattling? It's out of balance. Not that bad yet. There's the first cup of what came out of it. You can't see through it. That's one of the things I mentioned in the infomercial. It doesn't look anything like store-bought. We'll cover that in a sec. It's supposed to look like store-bought. Let's grab a pear. I've got a pear down here. Nice pear from my backyard. Okay, I don't care too much about the pear seeds. I'll just toss those in. 1, 2. So, how much juice did I get out of one pear? That much juice. That's a swallow. Doesn't quite get all of the juice out. Okay, and you can hear the machine's fairly out of balance, but I'm going to do another apple to see if we can get this thing the rest of the way out of balance, because it doesn't take much. Yeah. More extreme force. What happens sometimes is the apples will turn and get stuck at the bottom of this thing. See how much force this is taking? There we go. Here's the tray where it puts all the applesauce. It's interesting that you won't see very much in here. You see this side's completely empty, it gets flung to this side, but generally it's not very much in there. Now, where did it all go? Oh, here it is. This is the part they don't show you in the infomercial. What an absolute epic mess it is in here. Here's some of the apple seeds from that last apple I didn't cut up. Pieces of apple that didn't get ground up. This is just a nasty, nasty applesauce mess. See, there's a lot of juice still in there that it just flat didn't get out. So it flings it out of the centrifugal filter way too early. inside here, here's the filter. If you got a weak stomach, you probably won't like this machine because this stuff is pretty nasty. Here's the filter. It is fully clogged now. The screen that it uses for cutting the apples is plugged up. That's why it's being such a pain to cut the next one down. That's why I'm having to put all of my body weight into this thing. And these are really sharp. It's a stainless steel blade thing, and everything's wedged in it. So you pretty much got to cut your fingers to get it clean. Here's the metal screen. This stuff is dry. This is as dry as sawdust, but it's got no way of getting it out of its screen. So you pretty much got to stop every 2 or 3 apples and do this to it to get it out. This may be why I got so little juice out of that last pear, because it was all stuck. Nothing was going through the centrifugal screen. Now there's the here's the very clogged blade down here. Got these Scotch-Brite pads. Scrub this thing. And it's not too bad to clean, but every 2 or 3 apples is a bit extreme. Okay, I've got a rim of applesauce here. I was trying to get out of the machine. This is another one of those rather disgusting parts of the machine. Okay, put that back together. I haven't even really dealt with this. It's still an absolute mess inside. It's yuck. Anyways, put it all back together and ignore the problem inside. How about a potato? It says it's really good at doing potatoes. Half the stuff inside of a V8 drink is a potato. So, pop that open and run potatoes very good. Potatoes are surprisingly juicy. Remember how much we got out of that pear? We got just a sip from the pear. There's potato. That's almost a full cup. I'm not going to mix this in with the apple pear sauce we got over here. Now, if you look really closely at this sauce, it's separating. We got froth at the top, and it's brown froth at the top. There's a layer of green froth. We got this liquid here, and then pulp down here. I don't really like drinking this. I don't care for pulp in my orange juice, and I certainly don't like it in my apple juice. So I'll show you how to fix this, and then suddenly it begins to look like store-bought apple juice. Okay. So, how do you filter it? Take another great cup. Can you see the cup okay with that? Okay, cool. Make yourself a nice funnel. And a coffee filter. Now, this process takes hours, like maybe as much as 6. I usually fill the coffee filter and leave it in the fridge overnight and have it for breakfast in the morning. And here we go. I'll come back when that's filtered some. Prepped, let's fire the thing back up. Making a lot of force again. Probably crossed again. There we go. Well, that was 2 apples, and we got a full cup. Not bad. Put that over here. Ah, jeez. The blade must be clogged again. Oh. Never done that before. Well, let's see what went wrong. I stalled the motor. Oh no. Let's go ahead and clean it a little bit. I'm going to try these apples again. So, that's a new one. Never stalled the motor before. Oh, I just toss this back here. Pull the sawdust again. Yummy. I wonder what happens if I run this through it again. Let's try that. See if I've destroyed the thing. Hey, it still works. Yeah, let's drop this slime back in there. It's a little out of balance now. I hear it rattling. Really out of balance now. Let's shut it down and see if we can figure out why it's so out of balance. You know, it was clean one apple ago, so it does this to me a lot. And here's why it's out of balance. Let's pull this screen out. You can see right here, we have a clear spot right there, and then sawdust everywhere else. So right here is a clear spot. We got weight everywhere else. That's why it's out of balance right now. Don't know what causes that, but it's highly annoying. No more so than having to put all my body weight into getting the thing to juice. I've now been through most of a bucket. It wasn't quite full, but it was pretty full. Let's see how much I've got back here. You can see I've got probably about half full if I were to compact it. Yeah, half full. Not exactly applesauce. Maybe I could throw that into a blender and turn it into applesauce, but no thanks. Mostly sawdust with a lot of extra juice in there. That's about my review of this thing. I got it to go out of balance like it tends to do to me. And I juiced a dozen apples and a couple pears. And a potato. It's been a couple hours. Not completely done filtering, but here it is. This is turned brown. It's been exposed to air. This here, this has got the potato juice in with some apples. So it's kind of interesting. I've never seen it quite separate like this before, and I've never juiced a potato before, so that may have been what happened here, is it pretty well self-filtered. we've got the froth that I always complain about here on top, so I guess I could use a spoon and get that off. I don't know how to drink it without getting some of that crud at the bottom, but I could certainly filter it a lot easier like this. I think that the reason that this has not turned golden here, it's only slightly golden, is the froth on top is acting as an insulator. So it's only got so much air. This is ready to be drinkable. It's all nice and filtered. It's still a little bit cloudy, but so is apple juice. It looks like store-bought apple juice, and unlike what they say in the infomercial, I did not cook this. Cooking is not what makes apple juice look like apple juice. So I was not happy with that part of the infomercial. As you saw, keeping the machine clean and working is a bit of a chore. I've run it through the dishwasher. The clear plastic here is going to frost up eventually, especially if I run something citrusy through there. But so far it hasn't done that. I've only run apples and pears and peaches through the thing, and a couple of zucchinis. But yeah, that's it.